Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the February 20th, 2018 edition of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. It is good to be here. Let me make sure my mic is on. There we go. Anyway, my name is Shelley Overton, and I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. I want to say thank you very much for taking an hour out of your time to join me today. It has been quite a difficult week, and I have things going on in my personal life as well that I'm not going to mention specifically, but just suffice it to say that it has been a difficult week there as well as what's been happening in the news. So I hope you're not going through anything too difficult in your personal life, but we've got a lot of intense energy going on, and I'm not going to kid you right now. I'm going to be really straight up. There are 4 planets in Pisces, and I can tell you part of what's going on right now is that we're kind of having a bit of brain fog. Mercury is in Pisces. Today, Mercury is at 4 degrees Pisces, which is exactly opposite my natal Mercury at 4 degrees Virgo. So if I seem a little dreamy or scattered, that's probably why I made the name of the show Dreams and Romance. So anyway, that's what we're dealing with this week. We're dealing with a lot of Piscean energy, but also today specifically, the moon has been exactly conjunct Uranus in Aries. And I think last week when I was looking forward to the moon coming up on Uranus, I was definitely anticipating more aggression with that, and there may be. But definitely Uranus at this degree, not even at this degree per se, but conjunct to the moon, is going to bring out and has been bringing out more enlightenment and awakening than I actually anticipated. But Uranus in and of itself will do that. Uranus wants to bring awareness to wherever it is in the chart. It's about the genius energy, the intense electrical knowingness, because again, our brains are electrical energy synapses creating thought, and Uranus is an air energy planet. So when it is influencing a sign, in this case Aries, which is the assertive male Martian energy, it is clarifying. And so being at the end degrees, it is bringing about this definite need for independence, but also a very clear awareness of where the energy lies right now. And given what happened last week with the high school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, I believe it's called. So MSD is how they are posting it. On Facebook, if you're interested, they have a Never Again page that they started, and it's Never Again MSD. If you want to go there, they post about what's going on activist-wise for that. So anyway, so we've got the moon right there on Uranus today, and in a couple hours, let me just tell you exactly when. Today is the 20th. Time is flying so fast. 2:12 p.m. this afternoon, the moon goes into Taurus, and 11:12 a.m. Pacific time. And let me see, that would be roughly 7:12 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time in England. So we're going to have this shift to Taurus, and attention, because the moon is pretty much right now blazing the trail. It will be followed by the sun, by Mercury, by Venus. And so the moon is actually giving us a taste of what we're going to be seeing in May when Uranus gets to 0 degrees Taurus. The sun has not been there since last year. Mercury has gone around the zodiac, and it's pretty close to a year since Mercury's been there. Venus, year and a half roughly. The moon will be making its way in here. It's the second to the last time it goes into Taurus before Uranus gets there. So this time and then next month and then May 15th. So I haven't looked at actually the placement of the moon during that event, but let's just take a quick look at what happens with the moon. So the moon goes into Taurus on the 21st of March, and then I guess it'll be probably a little bit longer than I was thinking. And then it goes in again on the 17th of April, and Uranus goes in on the 15th of May to Taurus. Okay, so the 14th, the moon goes into Taurus, and the 15th, 16th is when Uranus goes in. I can tell you the exact day, and I've been telling a lot. It's the 15th. So yeah, there's a new moon, Mars enters Aquarius, and Uranus enters Taurus all on the 15th of May. And so that's incredibly powerful. I've got it double marked with outlines for next month. Anyway, so what's going on? I think I'm going to just give a quick overview of the planets, and then I'm going to give you the dreams and romance side, and I'll go through the zodiac with that. So if you want to call in, the number is 347-994-3365 to talk to me, and let's go over your chart. So right now we have a Taurus rising, and like I said, the moon's at 28 Aries, Uranus at 25, we've got Jupiter at 22 Scorpio, Mars at 15 Sagittarius. Mars is squaring the Venus-Neptune conjunction in Pisces right now. He is just past there. He's at 15 degrees, but Venus is at 12 Pisces. Neptune is at 13 Pisces. And that is really what is highlighting this dreamy quality, this romantic sentimentality. Then we have Saturn at 6 degrees Capricorn and Pluto at 20 degrees Capricorn. We have the South Node at 14 Aquarius opposite the North Node at 14 Leo. And then we have Sun at 1 degree Pisces. Sun went into Pisces on the 18th of the month, which is a lot earlier than I usually anticipate the transit of the moon or the sun into the new sign. So Sun is already 2 degrees into, or almost 2 degrees into Pisces. It's at 1 degree, 57 minutes. So we are really feeling this intense watery sentimentality, psychological, intuitive, dreamy, wanting to run and hide energy. Interestingly, on I think it was Thursday last week. I don't remember when the shooting occurred. I think it was Thursday. No, it was Valentine's Day, so it was Wednesday. The moon was in Aries, and actually, let me just do it. I don't completely believe the moon was in Aries. Where was it? The moon was in Aquarius. So universality, that's what that is. So it is actually creating a very strong wave of awareness and awakening in the path of what happened. So with all this energy, of course, now we are in mourning stages and feeling like we just want to run and hide. I'm telling you, I very much feel that way right now. And at the same time, I'm feeling with the Mars in Sagittarius a need to get out and be amongst people at the same time. I went over to Disney Springs this weekend and was sitting in the audience for the performance stage. There was a whole afternoon of high school symphonies or orchestras playing, and I got to sit down and listen, and they were playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And that is a song that has been assigned in my life, and I think in a lot of people's lives, to the energy of mourning and connectedness to our loved ones who have passed over. So I thought it was rather profound, and I sat to listen to them. And as I sat and listened, because I really haven't thought a whole lot. I mean, I have, let me put another, I have thought a whole lot about what goes on because my daughter is in high school, and every day she leaves, I'm not kidding, every day I bubble her with positive energy and ask Archangel Michael to protect her. And so it did really affect me when I heard about the news, and I can maintain my emotional distance until I hear about the details, until I hear about the people. and until I watched the newscast going over it. So I watched some, but I didn't watch a lot. But when I sat down in the audience to listen to this band, I was overwhelmed with being moved by the music and by the fact that these were high schoolers here to perform on a wonderful trip to Disney, and were at the parks all week long, from what I heard of the parents sitting in the audience. And it just overwhelmed me, and I cried for quite a few minutes, actually, just at the profundity of what was going on. So anyway, I hope that you can maybe take a minute and think about those people. I actually printed off a photo, and I'm sorry to like hijack this for this purpose of, talking it through. But as you know, if you've listened to my podcast, you know that I can be pretty sentimental, emotional about things that relate to children. And this is one of them. So anyway, that's the energy right now. That's what we're doing. That's what's going on. We've got the South Node in Aquarius. So it's a South Node around humanitarianism, and the North Node at 14 degrees Leo, which rules children, romance, and creativity in the chart. So it is an axis of awareness. It is close to the world axis, and we are feeling it on a very deep level globally. So anyway, the Piscean energy, being that it's Sun, which is ego, and ego will act on its own behalf, but in Pisces, it is the old soul. It is the awareness of all points of view and how things all come together. It's the big picture. And it is also an understanding on a universal love level, agape love. It is embracing and compassion. And I find that I was able to look at the person who shot all the kids with a little bit more compassion than I have probably in the past. And those of you who've listened a long time to the show know I live 2 miles from the Columbine massacre, and so when it happened, so it's kind of an issue that is very strong in my life. But as we are going through this, there has definitely been an energy shift, and I feel like this ego energy is subsiding. Like it doesn't have the power it did, and Sun in Pisces is going to bring that up into our awareness. Now, Mercury in Pisces, Mercury rules Virgo, and it rules Gemini. So it rules the sign opposite to Pisces and squaring to Pisces. So Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgos are going, and Pisceans are going to be a little bit more foggy right now. All of us probably will have some level of fog, and watch out. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm sorry. Watch out for your phones dropping in water. I'm going to be super extra careful about that. Watch out for probably more specifically accidents, vehicles, being that it's Mercury. Mercury rules transportation, and squaring Mars and Sagittarius, that is also a travel sign. So, we're going to see a potential heightened accident around transportation, including airline, water, boats, cars, everything, you name it. If you're walking, Sagittarius rules the legs. Be careful. It is N degrees, the last 2 degrees of Moon in Aries, so it also can be a shift around asserting male energy and male ideals, but it immediately goes into Taurus, which is a feminine sign, this afternoon. So it's going to be shifting from male to feminine, and at that point, it's also going to awaken us to what's going on with the stock market and our money. And so where does the money go? What's going on with our money and love? So it is times of change and shift. It is a shift around relationships and money and stock markets and property, things like that. Definitely having Mars and Sagittarius, there's a drive to sell a house, move somewhere else, take a class, learn more, change religions. And all this Piscean energy is about spirituality. So you have Mars in a religious sign and Pisces ruling spirituality and connectedness to spirit. So it is a heightened awareness of the connectedness of us all, honestly. And so we have Mercury, it's thought and it's communication, but Mercury is nonverbal communication in Pisces. So this is where you can just glance over at someone and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. So it's really strong emotional connectedness without words. So look for that. And then we have Venus at 12 degrees Pisces, which is love. And again, it's unconditional love, it's motherly love, it's compassionate, embracing universal love. And Venus in Pisces, she takes on the attributes of those around her. So this is a time, especially with the sun also in Pisces, we're going to feel the emotions of others around us. And we're going to think that they're ours. I mean, I'm a very empathic person, and I can tell you, it takes a lot for me to remove myself from emotions of people around me. And it's probably why I've become more of a hermit over the last decade, after Saturn was in Virgo. And it's just like I am overloading with this energy. So you may feel that. If you feel that, you can do a couple things, and I'm going to give you some suggestions. One is to ground yourself, and that means walking in grass, letting your feet feel the earth, connect to the earth, hug a tree. Anything that connects you to the earth and grounds the energy will be helpful. And you can also take a bath and put some Epsom salts or Himalayan sea salt in it, but get your salts in, put in some lavender, just feel really calm with that energy. And I'm going to just give you one more hint that I use, and I'm going to go get some this afternoon for my cat, and that is Rescue Remedy. Rescue Remedy is it's a yellow container. You can get little lozenges, and I get those. I used to have them all the time when I drive, because if you get stressed out when you're driving, all you have to do is pop one of those in, and it's like a magic little pill. You just suddenly you're like, it's all good, I'm okay. And then they have some for animals too. So they're actually probably really good for the 4th of July for animals. But they may be drops, I don't know. But I'm going to go get some this afternoon because my cat is kind of neurotic, and we've managed to attract another cat, and it's really cute. And I was hoping if I stopped putting the food out, because he steals my cat's food, if I stopped feeding my cat outside, it would go away, but it didn't go away. And it would steal the food, and now it's here. So I've had to name it, and its name is Valentine. So I have Cupid and Valentine, and since she came to me on Valentine's week, I don't know. I can't tell. It's probably a female. It's a smallish cat, but don't worry. There will not be kittens. So anyway, all that being said, we've got Neptune at 13 Pisces, and that is a very strong energy of Pisces. It's the ruler of Pisces, and it means that we are going to be daydreamy and dreamy and romantic and connected, and that's going to be the way the whole society is going for the duration of the time in Pisces. So that's going to be until the mid-30s. If you can believe that. It's going to be there like another 12 years. So it's a lot of Pisces energy right now. And that means that we're calming down. We may be looking to drugs. We may be looking to alcohol. It is the sign of addiction, but it's also the sign of expression. And I think if you're not expressing what you're feeling creatively, and I'm sorry for the sound of the printer, I'm printing out this chart so I can go over everybody's zodiac for romance with you, so I can tell everybody where you may meet someone and what's going on. But so the energy of Pisces, if you are wanting to express yourself more creatively now, that's in alignment with Pisces. And it's also the sign that makes us sleepy and want to go to sleep. Because when we sleep, we are closely connected to the other side. And We receive downloads while we sleep. So if you're asleep, you can kind of recharge your battery more to be awake. So I would highly recommend those suggestions for you if you want to try and feel more grounded and more connected to yourself. Meditation is a wonderful thing. You could chant. I chant. I chant a phrase called Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So I say it fast. I say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. But it's an ancient Sanskrit and Chinese phrase that means dedication to the law of cause and effect through sound. And when you chant it like a mantra, you raise your vibration, and you can really shift the energy and change your karma by doing that. So anyway, I hope that helps. All those different hints can help you. Pluto is at 20 degrees Capricorn. Again, more shift and change. We've got organizational things. Saturn's at 6 Capricorn also now. So, of course, I keep looking around my house going, I just want a day where I straighten up and get rid of stuff. And honestly, I'm ready to redecorate. That is a very strong energy around Capricorn and Saturn. They want to organize. They want to straighten out systems. So Saturn is now in sextile to Mercury, and that means that it is also a clearing of clutter around thoughts and around belief systems that are not doing us any good. The Moon and Uranus conjunction is also in positive aspect to a 1 degree Pisces Sun. So this is about giving up the ego on some level, which Sun is ego, Pisces is basically the release of it, the removal of it. And in positive aspect, once the Moon goes into Taurus, it will be at 1 degree Taurus, which will be an exact sextile to the Sun, and that's 60 degrees away. And it will also be moving into a sextile with Mercury tonight. So it is about intuitive knowingness around financial systems. This could mean that we are starting in, honestly, using our money to benefit people more than we are for self. So it's about giving it away for the greater good or purchasing things that actually support a better vibrational energy. So you can look for that. All right, so I've got my chart printed out, and I'm going to start with Aries. So Aries, all this energy falls in your 12th house. So you're probably not as driven today and this week while we have these energies in Pisces, actually probably for a couple weeks. You're going to feel much more the need for downtime, and there's an opportunity for somebody who may really have an attraction for you, but they're not telling you. This is a hidden attraction, and there may also be something going on with you with someone, but you're not sharing it with the world. So it's kind of a behind the scenes. And honestly, this is so amazing. It just dawned on me. My daughter is an Aries. She has Mercury in Pisces in the 12th, well, not the 12th, but she has a romance going on right now, and he doesn't want to tell anybody, and everybody is kind of learning about it, but yet he is shy to tell anyone. So that's really, he's also an Aries. They both share the same birthday. So I find it really interesting that I just said that, but it really does apply to my little Aries daughter and her boyfriend. So anyway, Taurus, this energy, Piscean energy, Venus conjunct Neptune this week. And actually, today, let's see, Venus sextile Saturn tomorrow. Oh, darn it. Hang on one second. I'm 1 week behind on my ephemeris here. Let's turn the page. It's Wednesday, Venus sextile, or excuse me. See, I told you Mercury is getting affected. Venus joins up with Neptune tomorrow at 1:42 p.m., Wednesday the 21st. And the sextiles abound. The Moon is trine to Saturn. The Moon eventually inconjuncts Mars in Sagittarius, which means some aggressive energy around monetary system. So look for disgruntled employees or something going on with the stock market or even real estate is also the combination of Mars in Sagittarius, which is sales of real estate, and Moon in Taurus, which is property and estates. You're going to look at something going on that has to do with land or property. Okay, anyway, let's keep moving. So Taurus, your romance can abound in the work environment or people who share your same interests. It could be friendships or coworkers. Let's see, Gemini, you have more. It's a little harder for you because you're dreamy in the career house. So it's like you want to be really focused and do something, but unless you're an artist or a creative type, you're probably going to feel a little more sloggy and like you can't really manifest what you want to manifest in the traditional way. And when I say that, the traditional way is, and I was just at, like I said, Disney Springs, I was behind a guy whose shirt said something about, we support, your work ethic dictates your success or something along those lines. Like you're as successful as your work ethic dictates, something like that. So that's the traditional view on getting career going. And for Gemini, you probably struggle a bit with that idea because you have Scorpio in your house of work and you have Pisces in your house of career, which is going to be more intuitive and emotional. So you're not necessarily bringing your career about, especially with Pisces at your midheaven, through the hard work, unless you have, say, Mars and Virgo in your house of work, in which case you probably do really great work at home. But your work is more intuitive, and the more you learn to allow, things come to you. You don't have to exert to get them as much in your career as they come to you. And right now, Venus and Neptune are in your house of career, so that's where love can be found, up doing what you love to do. And also potentially elderly romance, not elderly, but people who are older than you. If you look to an older, more mature person, that's going to be probably where you find love right now. Cancer, you have Pisces in the ninth house, which is, again, education and religion. So you're going to find someone who has a love of those things, and maybe someone who's in your religious church or your religious center, or even an educational center someplace. You could also find someone long distance romance, which, honestly, I would caution you against the long distance, because with Venus up next to Neptune, this person's going to seem ideal to you, but it may also happen that what you think is true ultimately proves to be false in the end. So that's kind of the concern about the ninth house, but just watch yourself more with the ninth house, because it may not really work as well for you with that energy. So yeah, Cancer, you can definitely meet someone, but definitely bring some fun and play to the table to meet that person. Leo has the energy in the eighth house, which makes you probably right now more prone to being broody and moody, because that's like more of a depression area of your chart with the Scorpio energy. And then you have Neptune and Venus there. Mercury is going to make you muddied more in your mind. And currently with this chart, I show Mercury in the seventh house, but I'm just going like solid house division, like the whole house. We're going to just separate it that way. We're not going to, because everybody's in a different time zone. Everybody's got a different energy as far as houses affecting them. So if you have a Leo rising, all Leo risings are going to have Pisces. Well, I'm just going to blanket it. Are going to have the Pisces in the eighth house. So it's about really feeling what your heart wants and being in touch with your intuition and your own personal desires, because the Scorpio house can be very black and white. Having Pisces in it makes it a little more muddied, and you're not as sure. I mean, you may be sure, you may feel intuitively this is the right thing, but then there can be a drastic contrasting situation. Like, so what will happen is, oh, I really like that person. Oh, but they're at the end of a relationship and I can't have them. So there may be a black and white situation dealing with ethics that removes that situation or puts it off somehow for the time being. But yeah, I think that you're definitely going to have love. So I'm going to just look real quick here. I've got the ephemeris. I want to see when Mars gets to Pisces. So Mars is going to be in Pisces this year, and Mars gets there in November. So mid-November for Leos. is going to be a really good time because that's when Mars gets into your house of commitment, and that's when you're actually going to see that manifest, as opposed to now, which is a lot of fantasy and a lot of daydreaming about your love. Okay, Virgo. Virgo, you have Pisces in the house of marriage and commitment. So you have the potential to meet a life partner, and it could be that, again, idealized partner, and it's in the Libra house. So Libras like to couple up and be romantic and have partners, but I'm going to give you a heads up caution that there could also be a third person in the picture that tends to be the fulcrum point for a triangle. So love triangles can happen with the Libra house. But if you're aware of it and you know that that's the tendency of this house is to balance things, then it can be okay as long as that person is not a threat to the relationship. If they're just kind of a balancing energy, it's okay. So that's the Virgo house. And again, every time like when Mars gets to Pisces, mid-November, that's when you have more drive within that house, and it can bring what's going on now to fruition. So it may be the totality of the year before we see it, but it's coming November, mid-November. Remind me if you call in that I said that. So Libra, you have this in the house of work. So again, work being much more intuitive. You're of service to others, but right now we're learning how to receive. So if you have been always a giver, it drains you. And so you don't want to be drained because you have this nature to give. And honestly, Libra is the humanitarian of the zodiac and the social worker, and they will give away everything. And this is a very strong time for you to recognize your own personal needs, and especially in the house of work, because that's where your ideal situation lies right now. So that can even be attracting to you the ideal job, which I would not be surprised if that happens. And again, you have this desire to do something creative and soul affirming. And right now with Venus coming up on Neptune, there could be someone who just catches your attention in the workplace. And so a coworker or someone who comes in. It's going to be a very nonverbal thing. Remember, again, it's Pisces. So, it might just be a feeling that you're getting from that situation. But again, also potential for a new job right there. Scorpio. Scorpio has Pisces energy falling in your 5th house, and that's romance, creativity, and children. So increased connectedness to your children and also your artistic nature. I have a Scorpio rising, so this is very true. I'm feeling much more driven to do artwork, and my children are on my mind a lot lately. And then also bringing in a romance from play, from creativity, creative places like galleries or art festivals, doing something fun can put you in alignment. But the point is you have to let go and allow. So that means you have to go with the flow. And if something happens and somebody can't do, and honestly, just expect that things may not turn out the way you planned, but also know that there's very much right now a reason why it happened the way it did. This is spirit from the other side interjecting in our lives. So if things are not going as planned, for once, just step back and say, wow, this really sucks, but maybe this is the stepping stone to what I truly want. And if you can look at it that way, I'm telling you this week in my life, absolutely, I'm looking at it that way. This is a stepping stone to standing up and knowing myself more and being able to really prove things to myself. So go with the intuition is, I guess, my best advice for you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, Mars is in your 1st house. And, I want to say, Scorpio, you have Mars in your 2nd house, which is also the coupling up house, and that's long-distance romance as well. So you might have an opportunity to travel somewhere, which can also open you up to a romance. So Sagittarius, you're really bringing in a commitment also on some level, but your commitment is to friends and to neighbors and to, like, say, students if you're a teacher. And then
romance falls for you in the house of home and family. And interestingly, this could really bring in someone. Even though it's going into home and family, I noticed that when the home and family house is triggered, that tends to be a really awesome relationship coming in, because we're moving into the nesting, we're moving into the nurturing, and having 4 planets in your 4th house of home and family means that that's where all the activity happens, and all the romance and the cuddly energy, and just wanting to make the space a very nurturing space. So if you're thinking of renovating your house or redecorating, this is a really great time to infuse it with really wonderful, warm, spiritual energy. Capricorn, all the Pisces, falls in your 3rd house. Let me see, did I say that right? Sagittarius. Yeah, your 3rd house. So your 3rd house is about communications, broadcasting, education, short distance travel, but really communication. So it's story writing and book writing and getting your voice heard. So your ability to communicate is paramount with what you're bringing back romantically right now. And, it's not easy because everything is in nonverbal. And that's if you're a Capricorn rising or even Capricorn sun, you're going to feel this energy in your 3rd house. And so neighbors may need your help. There could be water issues among neighbors, and interestingly, as I say that as well, I don't have a Capricorn rising, but I wonder what my landlord has. We had dump trucks dumping off huge mounds of dirt at the back part of the property all week long. It's like four times already, and the last time they went through and broke a pipe on the path in the back of my part of the property. So it would be the kind of thing I would see right now with Pisces in the 3rd house, is broken communications or communications that take a long time to happen. Wherever Mercury is how the communications are going to be. And in Pisces, it is very much about nonverbal communication, or not even talking. It's just body language. You're going to find that that's more pointed right now, and you may not want to talk a lot, but more intuit and nonverbal communications are going to be stronger for you. Aquarius, 2nd house, again, couples. So now is a fabulous time for you to find a partner if you're an Aquarius. This is going to be a very intuitive, connected person. This is where it's like your soulmate. And again, Venus and Neptune, this is soulmate energy. This is like, wow, you're like everything I've ever wanted. Where did you come from? And it's going to feel really familiar and definitely sent from spirit. So this is the area of money. So it also could be finding someone running to the bank, going in line at the bank. There's somebody, I'm just trying to think of Taurian, gardening clubs, anything like that. Get out to the nursery and the garden center in the next couple days. You never know who you're going to run into. But definitely energy for you about coupling is pretty strong. And then Pisces, 1st house. Believe it or not, this is honestly a time to really fall in love with yourself. And probably out of all the signs, this is the one that mostly needs to recognize how valuable you are as a person. And this past week, when I've been going through a tough time in my life, I have my aunt helping me a lot by just letting me talk things out. And she's a Pisces. And Pisces are so embracing and accepting of all people. That's the beauty. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and that means that they are the embodiment of all the signs. It's kind of like black is all the colors. Pisces is all the signs. They've been through every life as every sign, as every type of person, and they understand everybody, and they're accepting. They're very tolerant, and they're embracing. But they can probably be, I would say, one of the most maligned signs in a social setting, because I don't know if people really understand them, because they are so intuitive and they pick up things that other people don't right away. So, and they also blend with others. So it's really hard. They're kind of enigmatic. It's hard to really understand who they are. You've got Aquarius in your 12th house, Pisces. And so they're kind of the sign that you never know what you're going to get. And part of that is because they do absorb other people's personalities and emotions. So they can go with the wind. They just flow with whatever's happening. So they're hard to pin down, but really that is their personality, is not really knowing what you're getting as a person because they're very fluid. But the Pisces people really need to allow love for them and be loved in and of themselves. They are always giving unconditional love, so now is the time for you to give yourself unconditional love if you're a Pisces. But I think we should all do that. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then we are going to take calls because I ran a little long, but I also didn't get a chance to promote this a lot before the show. So I only have a few calls, which is really great because I tend to run long with my readings, and so we can really dig in. Anyway, we'll be back in 2 minutes. And there's your Pisces break for this week. Anyway, welcome back. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. And if you would like to get a hold of me, you can find me at astrologerangel.com. And also on Facebook at Astrologer Angel, on Instagram at Astrologer Angel, on Twitter at Astrologer Angel. And yeah, if you are interested in a private reading, I love to give those, and I would love to do that for you. And also look on YouTube because I'm on YouTube as well, and I post these shows as a video on YouTube. And I will be getting videos up, like a live video. I'm trying to, honestly, I'm trying to talk myself into being on camera for doing like a weekly discussion of astrology. But I'm going to do it. It's a challenge, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to find a way to get over my distaste for being on camera. Anyway, okay, let's take some callers. 561. Let's see if I can get you live. There we go. Hi, 561. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Who's this?
This is James.
I'm sorry. Did you say Jade?
I'm James. I'm sorry. It's
James.
Dwayne.
Oh, hi, James. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey.
How do I not? Oh, there you are. Okay, you're a little bit lower. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, what's going on? How are you today? It's so good to talk to you.
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm a little low. I mean, I think you can kind of tell on my. I just really. I've had a tough week. I've had some aggressive energy thrown my way, and it's just hard. And I'm okay,
God,
but yeah, I'm not. It's not fun. How about you?
No,
How's it
it's
been
not.
treating you?
No, that was all of last week for me. It was like, what
exactly.
the heck is going on?
Yeah, all that Pisces, and then there were some Aries, energy with the moon, and Aquarius. A lot of Aquarius going on last week.
Oh my God,
so,
it was something.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. And Vesta is right next to Vesta, like that the asteroid that kind of likes to stir things up, is next to Mars right now. And for you, she falls right between Uranus and transiting Mars. So you have Uranus at 17 in your chart in the house of work. Vesta's at 16 and Mars is at 15. So they're all right clustered there in your house of work at 17, close to 17. So that's kind of aggressive for you. Yeah. Are you dealing with work issues? Or someone at work that's giving you a hard time?
Definitely dealing with work issues, especially this industry. And just the day-to-day routine, just wanting to kind of withdraw and be silent and be still.
Right.
It's been really difficult to get that.
I know, because this is squaring Venus and Neptune right now. And it means that they're at odds. Like Mars wants to take action big time. Like okay, let's go. Let's get this done. Let's take care of things. And Venus and Neptune and Sun and Mercury are all like, but I just want to sleep. I just want to chill. And then Uranus and Moon are going, no, but we got to get stuff done because we're about to lose our power. Really, and that's up there in your people associated with career and your soulmates. So you're definitely dealing with people right now. I think that's kind of in your chart, like the big issue is interactions with people and people being more assertive or aggressive or testy. Is that kind of how you've been feeling it? It's just like,
yes.
Yeah. Have you thought of moving? I mean, I think you may have an opportunity to move with jobs, and it could be far away. Jupiter just went into your house of work. Have you felt that at all?
I would be open to that.
Yeah. Well, it's triggering your Saturn, and of course Saturn's life purpose. So Jupiter is wanting you to expand your life purpose, but you're going to have to go back over some of the creative aspects for the summer, because when Jupiter goes retrograde, which is coming up quicker than I really want it to. Let me just look real quick here, see if I can find out. I know I've said it hundreds of times in my show when it retrogrades, but I usually memorize it, but this week with Mercury and Pisces, nothing's getting memorized. It's gone.
That's right.
Yeah, and I want to tell you and everybody else, if you're sitting there feeling like you've got brain fog, this is why. Mercury and Pisces is like, what? Oh, okay. It's like we all turned into stoners, That's really what we are. So Jupiter at March 9th, it goes retrograde. So it gets to 23, which it's only 1 degree away from as far as it stretches before it goes back. So it's going to go back over your south node. So what's happening is it's expanding your awareness of your life purpose, which is, as it gets closer to your Saturn, that's your life purpose. That's why you came here. And again, tell me what you do, because it's in Scorpio, which is law. Are you in law? I can't remember.
I'm in government.
Government, okay, yeah. Well, Saturn is government, but yeah, I would say the government's kind of law as well. But if I said purely government, it would be Saturn in Capricorn, which is where it's at right now. So where's that fall? That falls in your house of partnership, and it also falls 3 degrees off of your Neptune. That's also changing. So the way you look at the partnership with the government, so to speak, that's changing big time. Big time. Like, have you felt like you've given your life to your job for so long and you just can't do it anymore? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I've been here, and it feels like forever. I've been here since last year, April, and I work for one of the elected officials.
Okay.
And I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like the hypocrisy of it. I don't like the backdoor stuff of government, and then I don't like the constituent stuff either.
Do you mind if I ask? You don't have to tell me who, but are you in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. And are you still where you were born?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Okay. I get you. I was just down there last week, so I totally get you. No, I have someone who does business there, and I don't think it's just localized either. It's all over America, and I'm sure it's probably all over the world. Like there are things going on, backdoor dealings with things that just should not be happening, and that's the way it's done. That's the way business is done.
Right.
And it's between the government and the
get myself together. The government and the businesses. Like, it's just kind of, and also other factions. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, it's true. That sucks. And then the constituent relationship sucks. The relationship the constituents have around government sucks too. So it's like, it's on both sides. It's like, how do I get the hell out of here?
Yeah. Yeah, well, your chart is saying that you're interested in leaving. Let me just look here. So that's east. Well, I mean, you're kind of living in the part of the world that your chart supports. But, I mean, you might move farther north if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let me see. The end of the year into next year, I think that you're going to want to be. Actually, hang on a second. I keep forgetting because I'm looking at the chart. So what I do, this is just like my own system of looking at where you should live, east, south, northwest. When you set up a chart, the east is on the left, the west is on the right, and the south is on the top, and the north is on the bottom. So it's exactly the opposite of what we think of a regular map is. So that's what can get confusing when you're like, okay, wait a minute, what? No. So I take it back what I told you. East is on your rising sign. So you may have thought, okay, I'm east, Gemini, your thinking processes may be stronger just from the standpoint of Gemini on your horizon, the eastern horizon when you were born. But the west is really where all your energy is. Right now, Jupiter's in the west part of your chart. Mars is transiting the west part of your chart. Saturn natally is there. Uranus is there. Neptune is in Capricorn in the south part of your chart. Saturn's right there on the south, but honestly, everything there is looking to the west part of the country. So like I said, I had to flip it. So the west might be a better southwest is better for you. And Neptune Venus is looking like, I don't know if you have any interest like Texas, but Texas or Phoenix or New Mexico, South California, that area.
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Well, you have the possibility to go there if you're interested, and I would say if you're interested, put out the feelers there. I personally have a couple different websites when I was thinking. I mean, I'm still not ready to move. Well, I'm ready to move. I'm just not going to move yet because of family commitments. But when I do, Arizona, Phoenix is where I want to go. And so you can look. There's a whole map that you can do online, and maybe I can do that one day. It'd be kind of fun to just have a whole day of doing. Hey, where does the map say astrocartography say where you should be? But that area like Phoenix, Sedona, whatever, that'd be good for you too. So, and even it goes all the way over to Texas if you want. So,
right.
Yeah, but you can look into that more. But so what I was saying, and I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Mercury and Pisces. You can go on these websites. I have Just Job Alerts, I think is one of them, and Indeed. Indeed has a great system too. So Indeed.com is a job searching place, and you can set up the kind of job you want in the town you want and have it send you alerts for all jobs that are opening up with that. So you could create all sorts of different job alerts for different cities if you want to do that. But I think it's really the coolest thing in this tech society. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, my God. And you can send off a resume just, for whatever pops up for the city you want to live in. So, and also, yeah, let me just real quick, I'm going to look here. Do you have any city in the Southwest that you particularly would like?
Oh, I was always looking at Austin, Texas.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And
that's funny because I got Texas for you, and I'm like, Texas, really? Okay. And what was the other one?
And I was looking at anywhere in South California because my brother's over there. So I was.
Okay. So let me see what Austin looks like for you. I've got a book. This one's called Horoscopes of the U.S. States and Cities. So Austin, Texas is a Pisces rising. So it's a 26 degree. So all the Pisces, let me see, you don't actually have Pisces in your chart, but that would sync up your career really well to the 12th house. So it would be like you would feel like you belong there on some level, like psychically, just really feel comfortable. Let me see, Jupiter and Venus are in Scorpio there, and that is your house of work. So, and it's also in commitment. So that could also, I don't know if you have a relationship, but there is definitely strong relationship energy in Austin for you.
Yeah, and if it's work, let me see. Those are 18 and 12. Yeah, definitely work and relationship would be really strong for you in Austin. And then, yeah, and marriage and partnership as well. You've got Mercury at 18 and Saturn at 15, Sagittarius. 15 Sagittarius, Saturn is your work house, so that's working, doing something, travel, something fun. And then Mercury at 18, that's also, okay, both of those fall into your house of work, but then the part of fortune falls in your house of marriage, and Sun at 5 falls in your house of marriage as well, which is a commitment. So you would like have the energy of structure and ego satisfaction around. Oh, and that falls right on your Neptune. Oh my gosh, marriage. Ooh. Yeah. And then Mars in Aquarius at 4 degrees. What is that for you? That is, oh, okay, that's also commitment and your Jupiter. And then Neptune is at 11 right on you. I'm saying go to Austin. Flipping A, go to Austin. What are you talking about? Do it. I don't even think I'm going to look at Southern California over here because Austin looks too phenomenal. I mean, like if I were you, I'd be like out the door. So go on Indeed.com, put in what you want, get those notifications of jobs set up, and get thee to Austin. That's awesome. Awesome, Austin.
That is incredible. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that was a fun read. Anyway, yeah, definitely call me back again. Don't call me again for a couple of weeks because I want you to tell me what's going on. I want you to set that stuff up and then let me know, report back, okay?
Oh, yeah. You got it. Thank you.
Okay, James. Awesome. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's see. We're going to go to, my computer's getting all foggy too. Come on, computer. There you are. Okay, 407. So 407, how are you? Hello?
Hello.
407? Hi, this is Shelley. You're on.
How are you, Shelley?
Good. Who is this?
This is Jennifer.
I've got you. How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm good. I want you to look at my husband's chart if you have time.
Okay. I have about, I'll give you a minute. I got 3 before the show ends, but I'll give you a few more. So
okay.
Let me just set up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just got to.
You might have him in there. I'm not sure.
Oh, what's his name?
John.
I don't see him. Yeah, I don't see him in here, so I'll just put John, parenthesis, Jennifer. Okay. Give me some info.
It's 11/22/59.
Okay.
Chicago, Illinois, 1:32 a.m.
Okay. Okay. Tell me his birth date again because my computer eradicated it when I put in other information. The 22nd?
It's 11/22/59.
1959. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good deal. Okay. We're good. So what would you like to know for his chart?
What do you see going on with like career and money or what stands out? Anything?
Okay, what stands out? Well, right now, obviously, Pisces is making everything stand out, and for his work,
right.
He needs to be creative. And I mean, like when I look at a sign ruling a house of work, of course, in your work environment, you're going to want to do something that relates to that. And his work environment is very intuitive, but it's also like archival and filmmaking, genealogy, anything that brings a story together from the past to the present. It's the lineage of the past to the present. So filmmaking, photography, anything like that would be great. He's got Mars in the 2nd house, which is money, other people's money, accounting, legalities around people's money, because Scorpio, he has Mars in Scorpio, has Neptune in Scorpio. A lot of strong energy around other people's money in his chart. Also law and what else? Saturn. Saturn is in the house, home, and family, and the elderly. So like estate planning would be good. Actually, I would like exclamation point that because I don't know if he does accounting, but he's got Neptune. Well, the energy of Neptune is the past, is the connection to the past. And also, I mean, everything, I don't have a great deal of time, but basically transition of life, the elderly with Saturn in Capricorn. Neptune is also connecting to the other side, which can be like the process of death and moving on. So the fact that he has Mars and Scorpio in the Taurus house, it's money. So it's personal money and money for others. Neptune is there, which is the connectedness to the Pisces energy, but it's also an ideal situation. It's around, the Taurus house. Again, it's farming. It's, money structures, banking, things like that. So, I mean, he has a lot of stuff in that. Oh, and then he also has Jupiter, Mercury in real estate. So, I mean, as far as careers are concerned. So, in communications, he's got Sun in Scorpio, but that's in his third house again. So it could be he's interested in speaking or traveling and speaking. Business. Construction. Okay, so let me look at. Okay, Saturn.
He did very, very well, and then the economy kind of tanked. So we're just trying to get back on our feet with that.
Okay. Well, I can tell you.
Starting over.
Yeah, he has Saturn. He's in a Saturn return in Capricorn in his house of home and family. So that tells me, number one, that he wants to work close to the home. It's something that he has to do, that it nurtures him to be around. I wouldn't necessarily say his chart says, oh, you got to work for yourself. But, I mean, I haven't looked that deeply into it. But he needs to have the connectedness to the home, which would kind of preclude that he works for himself, because how is he going to do that? But I would say, because he's in a Saturn return and Pluto is kind of eking towards the end degrees of that house, he's having to change how he looks at it. So I wouldn't say he necessarily changes careers. And I want to say, because and Capricorn rules the government as well, there are so many construction jobs coming. I can tell you that. It's going to be crazy. I mean, you haven't seen nothing like what's coming down the pike. Uranus is moving into Taurus middle of the year. It'll be back in Aries for a little bit of time, which also rules construction. And then it'll go back into Taurus, which rules properties and investments and things like that. He could get a partner, even though Uranus is going in his 8th house. It's hovering between marriage and commitment, so that area of the chart. So it also rules partnership. So he could potentially get a partner to help him with the business, but then the construction business is going to go crazy. And I would say, honestly, because of all the, Jupiter's on his Mars right now in the house of money, he could really get a business loan or a partner who will invest in his business and make it through this part. And I've got chills all over this. That's what his chart's telling me, is just ride out the lull, because his chart, I got so many chills, is really lighting up for a shift for this incoming wave of construction. So that's what I would say. I would say go to the bank, talk to them, because I'm telling you, Jupiter on Mars, forget it. And it's about to go retrograde. It's going to go back over that. So, you want
How long is Jupiter on Mars for? How long does that last?
His Mars is at 22, Jupiter's at 20, or excuse me, his Mars is at 21. His Jupiter, or the transiting Jupiter's at 22, so it just is 1 degree past, but it goes retrograde at 23, so it's going to go back over it, and it'll be right back at 21. What did I say? It said March it goes retrograde, and it gets back to 21, and his Mars is at 21.56, so it'll be there April 7th. So. April 7th, I mean, Mercury is also about to go retrograde as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't looked specifically, but it's been a while, so I know it's getting ready to. It goes retrograde in March. So I would say if he could do it before then, honestly, Mercury in Pisces is a really good time, and it goes into Aries on the 7th, and that's partnership with you. So I want to say you may end up signing on the loan if he does it anytime in late February. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, late February or March, you could be a co-signer because of what Mercury is doing. If Mercury gets to the late degrees of Pisces, that's marriage and partnership, and that's the documents. So I would say if it's done early in March, you're going to be on the documents. If not, then he could get a business loan on his own. So. Yeah, but right now, are you kidding? Jupiter is going to be in his house of money until pretty close to November. It'll be late October.
Yeah.
So
it's starting to feel it come back a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to. I mean, I live in Orlando, and it's like, man. I mean, I know there's always construction. Too, oh, that's right. You're 407. I forgot. Which side of town were you on? You're up in Oviedo?
I'm on Southwest area, Universal Studios in the middle.
Oh,
basically.
You're on the happy side of town. I wish I were over there. I go over there just to feel better about things. Like when I go to the west side of town.
Here.
Like, but it just has more of an energy of Colorado, like I'm used to. So I go over there. That's why I went there this weekend. It's like I just need to get to the west side of town. Anyway, if I had it to do over, that's where I'd live. But no, I mean, over here on this side, they're doing a lot of construction by the university, and we've got like all of the 408 they're building new stuff over here. They're building an apartment complex on an on-ramp to the 408. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's over here too. It's ridiculous everywhere.
It's crazy. It's like, it's an on-ramp. People, why would you do that?
Stop.
But it is. It's like right in the loop.
Yep, they just throw those up like a gingerbread house almost,
Yeah, but it is picking up. And Orlando is a Scorpio rising city, I believe, too, which puts Jupiter in the first house here. So, like, a lot of people I've told, oh, you should move, but that puts all of the money stuff for his chart, and it puts Jupiter in the first house of Orlando, and it puts all the Sagittarius he has in the second house of money. So I really think right now he's where he needs to be to earn the money. You just need a little bit of money to get through. So maybe go to the bank, and I would say don't take no for an answer. If you go to one and they're like, oh, we can't do another. Do 2 or 3. Don't just wait for one person to turn you down and get discouraged.
Yeah, he's got a partner that wants to go in on this. It's just, kind of him hauling around. So just wondering if it's a good time.
Well, it is. And Mercury, so right now all the planets pretty much are in the right aspect. You've got, Mercury's past the sun now, which makes it a little bit wild, but it's coming up on Venus, and Venus is coming up on Neptune. And that means the way he thinks, the way he desires, and his dreams are all in alignment to come together if he would just allow it. And that's the key, allowing it. So go talk to that partner and say, let's get this done. Don't hesitate. I mean, there is some, again, retrogrades are coming up over the summer. So right now is really the time to get it done. And that's even for me. Yeah, me talking to me too. I've got a book I got to finish, and I just keep putting. I was like, no, this May 15th is the deadline. I'm telling you, May 15th is combust. It's like, boom, everything is gonna like go. I mean, Uranus into Taurus, it's a new dawn. Let me tell you. So yeah, get it done by then. Yeah, I am too. And honestly, other than like what went on for me this last week, I definitely see things much more positively for how society is heading. I think that we are waking up. And the children, bless the children. I just love the children. Speak it out, sister and brother. Get it out there. Make that change. So I'm happy. Anyway, I've got to go. I forgot I've got to be somewhere at 1. I still have to get myself ready.
All right, thank you so much, Shelley. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, take care, and just tell them what I told you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. That's the show for the week. Thank you so much. We'll see you here next week, and take care, and, go out and do some meditation and take care of yourself. Get a bath, salt water, and really take care of yourself. Let's just love ourselves and love everyone. Do something nice for someone today. Take care. Bye. Peace out. Thanks for stopping by Astro Energy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.